now the latest on May 16th around the wide world of tropics. Here's your tropical weather bulletin. May 16th, and we have only the remnants of tropical cyclone Anne, which is now in the Gulf of Carpentaria. 25 storms have formed so far this year, and we are now on May the 16th. It's the second day of the Eastern Pacific hurricane season. The Atlantic starts on June the 1st. The first name will be Andrea. No sign of her yet anytime in the future. And of course in the Eastern Pacific, the first name on the list is Alvin, but no sign of him either. Well, the activity, very little activity out there, but there is an Invest 93W, which is just to the east or to the southeast of the Mariana Islands. And the remnants of Anne, as I mentioned, that is headlining this tropical weather bulletin, heading off towards Australia's top end. So here it is right now, 25 miles an hour, 1008 millibars. There's its position. The storm, or the system, is 225 miles northeast of Nulunbi in the Northern Territory of Australia, 11.3 south, 138.9 east. Here's the forecast over the next few days, what's left of this system, traversing towards the west-northwest, and then by the looks of things, moving through East Timor into the weekend, somewhere around the Indonesian islands. Satellite imagery looks at the North Atlantic here, and you can see how little is really going on. Disturbed weather occurring just to the east of the Bahamas in a frontal system that's pushing off through, beginning in the Gulf of Mexico, as you can see here, with some possibly thunderstorm activity that could be affecting Florida. The East Pacific is pretty bare when you look at this imagery here. Very little going on over the open ocean at all, and just low latitude disturbances there, very little. West Pacific, you can see the Invest 93W, and that is not too far from Guam. Thunderstorm activity just a few hundred miles or maybe even tens of miles to the southeast. The Australian region looks like this right now. Very little convection associated with Anne, but you can see it there on that imagery. The centre of the system is exposed, and the Indian Ocean looks like this. Some rainfall occurring over India today, but elsewhere it's looking pretty quiet, and skewed graphics on that one for some reason. It's not my fault. Sea surface temperatures look like this, 30 degrees and warming over there in the Eastern Pacific. The Atlantic also warming up slowly. The Western Caribbean area, the warmest out of the whole ocean. The Indian Ocean there looking very warm indeed. The cold trail from Cyclone Fani a week or two ago just starting to disappear a bit there, and where 93W is, sea surface temperatures 28-29 degrees, where Anne is around 28, maybe even 29 there as well. This is Invest 93W, a close-up on the system. Interestingly, they've got the centre there well to the south and east of the convection. I'm not so convinced that that's the case. Not that it exactly has a centre, but I would probably put its centre of gravity further towards the northwest by now, closer to the Mariana Islands, and maybe we could have a relocation on that one soon. Here is ex-tropical cyclone Anne, a visible imagery just arriving over the system right now. Any convection associated with the system is displaced to the south, so there could be some rainfall occurring over Australia's top end, but I'd really say it's going to be quite little when you look at the grand scheme of things there, and isolated too. The system, of course, is likely to draw further north of the Northern Territory over time in any case. So here's a look at the upcoming naming lists, and very little going on in the tropics, so it's been a bit of a dragged out tropical weather bulletin this time, but this is what we will be doing for hopefully the whole season. We are starting in earnest on May 15th, as we did yesterday, with the start of the Eastern Pacific hurricane season. Of course, we've got our other outlets, Force 13 website, force13.com. Of course, our YouTube page, search Force 13 if you're not there already, subscribe if you haven't. And you can also find our Facebook and Twitter pages, search Force 13 all in text. The next name in Australia, by the way, is Blake, and you can see there if we have any more time for storms in the Southwest Indian Ocean, the next name is Mike Palo. You can also help the project become even better by becoming a patron. You can see more information about all the benefits involved by visiting patreon.com/Force13. You can also contact me on Discord. It's Fool13 at extension 9094 and Force13 on Skype. You can also find our server link to our Discord server for tropical weather chat in our description.